Flores and Tua Tagovailoa recently had some comments that really turned the heads, including this guy right here. So I'm going to let you guys take a quick listen, and I'm going to react to that.
Put it in simplest terms. If you woke up every morning and I told you you suck at what you did, that you don't belong doing what you do, that you shouldn't be here, that this guy should be here, that you haven't earned this right, and then you have somebody else come in and tell you, dude, you are the best fit for this. Like, you are accurate. How would it make you feel listening to one or the other? And you hear it more and more. You start to actually believe that. Basically been, 2 years of training that out of not just me, but, a couple of the guys as well that have been here since my rookie year.
So right there is huge for me because I think Tua was being very honest. I think he was being brutally honest, dare I say, because a lot of players really won't speak out about, former coaches and how things were. They try to be sensitive to the fact that they're still working, in the profession, that they're trying not to give them a bad name so they can keep getting jobs, so to speak. So there's different ways to look at this. First of all, Brian Flores was part of the Bill Belichick coaching tree. He learned how to be an NFL coach under Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick was notorious for coaching really hard. He coached the greatest quarterback of all time that we know in Tom Brady, the 6 championships, I'm sorry. And he often would say things like, when Brady makes a mistake or does something that he thinks looks stupid, he would call him out on it. He would, in front of the team, call out the best player and the greatest quarterback of all time in front of his teammates in a kind of demeaning way, so to speak. So, but that was his way of coaching. There are different ways of coaching. I personally experienced different kinds. And I'm just going to say this for Tua. Look, everybody is not made the same. They're not built the same to deal with certain ways of being talked to, whether it's coaching or being talked to, period. There's coaching, and then there's just what deems to be disrespect. In my personal opinion, having someone say that you suck at what you do and you're just not good, not getting any better, that you don't belong here, saying things like that, yeah, some guys will take that as, well, F you, I'm going to take that as motivation, and I'm going to come back and fire away and show you up, unless you know how wrong you are. But there's other people who will take that as like, well, damn, I keep hearing this each and every day. Eventually, it's going to start seeping through the walls, so to speak, and it's going to affect you. This is your quarterback. The last person that you want to screw up in the mind, I would say, is your quarterback, because he's already got all the pressure on him. He's already got all eyes on him. People are already questioning if Tua is even a guy. Can he stay healthy? Is he going to play past his rookie year because of all the concussions? And is he really that good of a quarterback? We saw Tua in the first couple of years really have a short leash. If he made a couple of mistakes, he got pulled. I remember watching Tua throw an interception and maybe have another bad pass, and then he would get benched. Nobody is going to bounce back from that right away if that keeps happening, especially a quarterback. You can't have him play half the game and then pull him and then have him start again, and then possibly now he's going to start looking over his shoulder saying, well, if I screw up again, what's going to happen? Am I going to get pulled in the first quarter? Am I going to get pulled in the second quarter? Like, who knows? And I'm just saying, it doesn't matter what sport, in any sport. Having a coach that believes in you and believes in your ability and tells you that they believe in you, tells you that you can do this, that you know what you're doing, that's a huge, huge deal to the psyche of many athletes. No, it doesn't matter what sport. You need to have someone with that who has that authority over you, being your coach in college, in pros, in high school, whatever. You listen to their voices. You listen to what they're saying to you. You listen to, and you take it to heart, because you're trying to do everything you can to impress them and make sure that they're happy so that you can see playing time and so that the team wins, so everybody's happy. You're listening to what the coach is saying. If you're trying to do what you want to do, if you're trying to get to heights that you're trying to reach, if you're trying to win games. So the voice carries impact, like your parents would carry impact. You listen to what your parents say to you, how they talk to you. More importantly, how they talk to you and what they say to you. All that stuff carries weight inside here and inside here. So everybody can't be coached the same way. And the greatest coaches know how to adapt with a newer generation, so to speak, or different types of players, because again, everybody is not made up the same. There are some guys who are built tough, if you want to call it tough, whatever it is. that can handle that old school, in your face, dare I say, demeaning type of coaching, where it's like, hey, my grandmother can throw a pass farther than you. My son in the middle school can throw a better pass than that. Or why are you even here? Like, you don't belong here. And then some guys will be like, all right, cool, watch this. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna show you up. Everybody's not made that way. And some athletes who hear that over and over again, eventually it's going to start sinking in. Well, is he right? Am I kidding myself? Am I really do I really belong here? That's what's going to start creeping in your head. And I can tell you that has enough to break you. That has enough to destroy your confidence to the point where you can't get it back. Or by the time you get it back, it may be too late. You see players in college transfer. You see players quit, quite frankly, because they just don't. Their confidence has been shot to a degree so severely that they couldn't get it back. Now, some people will say, well, he's just being soft. He's not tough enough to do it. If he can't deal with that, he's not tough enough. That's not fair, and that's not accurate. It doesn't mean that you're not tough. It means that you have to be talked to a different way as opposed to the next guy. Everybody is not the same. We're not robots. People receive information, receive criticism differently. Yes, you have to be good at accepting criticism, especially in anything you do. In any profession that you do, you have to be good at accepting criticism. Sports, the real world, whatever you want to call it. But there is a way on how you deliver that criticism. There is a way how you talk to that person. Because I learned this majoring in sociology in college. I'm not exactly using my sociology degree right now with my current field of work. But what it taught me was that, hey, how you talk to someone, your body language and your delivery is a big deal. People pay attention to that. People feed off of that. Their reaction can often be dictated by how your initial reaction is to them, your initial words. Tua was being coached by a guy in Brian Flores who is obviously very experienced, knows what he's doing. He deserves to have a job in the NFL coaching-wise. I understand that. I'm not at all saying that Brian Flores should be fired, none of that. But there is a way on how you speak to certain players. It does not mean that Tua is soft. In my opinion, it does not mean Tua is soft. It does not mean that he can't handle being coached. He needs to be coached a different way. That's all I'm saying. And that's not a bad thing. You need Tua to be on his game. You need Tua to have confidence. You want to instill confidence in your quarterback. Because when your quarterback does well, you got a chance to go win a championship. In the NFL, we see it all the time. It doesn't matter how good your receivers are or your running backs. You can have everything you need on a team. If you don't have a good quarterback that has confidence and is playing well, you have no chance. You're not going anywhere. You'll win some games here and there, but you're not going anywhere. You're not going to be with that upper echelon of Super Bowl contenders if your quarterback does not have confidence in himself. That's a big deal. Now we see Mike McDaniel coaching Tua. It's a totally different style. You see Tua differently as a person already. You see how he looks confident. He's ready to go out there and I remember watching the Denver Broncos game last year with the Dolphins. They put up 70 points on him. Tua was out there having a grand old time. As much fun as I ever seen him play in an NFL game. Tua Tagovailoa is a national championship at Alabama. I know he's a good quarterback. The vast majority know he's a good quarterback coming out of college. But all I'm saying is that your environment and who your coach is and how the coaches are talking to you, it matters. Everyone cannot be coached the same way. You cannot coach Tom Brady. You cannot coach Tua Tagovailoa like Belichick coached Tom Brady. And another example, the Atlanta Falcons job was right there for the taking. Great team, great situation right there. Bill Belichick was sitting right there as a free agent. They went with Raheem Morris. Why do you think that the greatest coach of all time, with all the accolades that he carries, why do you think he did not get a job? Because it's a new generation. This new generation of players may not respond well to the old ways that Belichick always did. Now, yeah, his track record says he's a proven winner, sure. But there's a reason that Arthur Blank decided to go with a younger, more relatable to a younger generation in Raheem Morris versus Bill Belichick, who is farther removed from that generation, has different tactics, is stuck in his ways of coaching. He's not changing, especially at this point in his career. He's not changing. I can see Belichick coming back to coach the Giants or maybe the Cowboys, but he's not changing. The way that he coaches is set in stone. His disciples, it's been set in stone. There's some stuff said about Josh McDaniels when he was in Vegas, how he coached, it seems similar. Same thing with Brian Flores because they learned under Belichick. That's how they got their starts. That's how they got their head coaching changes. But as a coach, as a mentor, any kind of a teacher, a parent, how you speak to people that are quote unquote under you, how you speak to your children, how do you speak to your employees, how do you speak to your players as a coach, it is a big deal. You have to learn who your players are or who your subordinates are, students, whatever the case may be. You have to learn who they are and learn how they need to be spoken to. Everyone's not going to be the same. And I think that's just really important. I think that's the difference why Tua looks the way he does now, why he feels very more than confident about speaking out about what happened, and what we saw him to be under Brian Flores. Now, I want to give credit to Brian Flores. He came out in his press conference and addressed it. He said he wishes nothing but the best for Tua. And really, when you listen to his press conference, he didn't really deny anything. That's a guy that's owning up to it, which I can appreciate definitely. I'm sure that wasn't easy at all to hear what Tua had to say. I highly doubt that Tua had a reason to lie about it. So now it's like, okay, look, I'm going to address it, and I'm going to acknowledge that, hey, maybe I didn't do the best job coaching Tua. Maybe I broke his confidence with the way that I was coaching, and that's not something that, as a coach, I would want to do. No coach wants to break a player's confidence. Of course not. But there's a different way of doing it. That's all I'm saying. Doesn't make Tua soft. Doesn't make anybody soft.